Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk with Tiff. Yet again, another episode. I am so excited to be here. Thank you for joining me. I want to invite all of you to check out my content. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe. I'm building a community here for all of us, and share my content as well to whoever you feel will receive it. And please follow me on Instagram. I am very active on my page, on my story. I love my community. I hold you guys right here inside my heart. And, let's dive right in. Let's get into the topic today. So what do we got, right? So today I want to get into honesty, you guys. It's a big topic and we need to talk about it because it's very important. I have notes in front of me too, so I may reference them from time to time, so bear with me. Okay, so what is honesty? Where does it come from? Are you being honest? Let me ask you that in your life. Yes, we have to ask ourselves that. I think it's really important, actually. Let's back it up a moment. When we talk honesty, where does it begin? That's my question to you. Where does honesty begin? Well, I feel and I believe honesty begins with self. The self has to be transparent with self. The next step, once you get honest with self, is to take it to spirit. Take your honesty to God, okay? And when you get into this process of really speaking what is in you, whether it's in the mind or it's in the heart, because both are happening. We really need to invite spirit and God into the process because we are speaking our truth. And a lot of the time, you guys, in truth is trauma. In truth is pain. In truth are feelings. Those are our thoughts, our feelings. Our attitude behind things, which I talk so much on my page about. This is our personality getting involved, right? We have a personality that contributes towards our honesty or maybe holds us back. Yes, it does. So, we have to think about these things. And, I ask you today, are you being honest with yourself? Because we really cannot offer honesty or in any form of communication out there in our life, in our other relationships, until we are honest right here within ourselves and with God, because He knows. So, I ask you that today. Are you being honest? Are you being transparent? What I believe is that humans, all desire honesty. It's in our heart, you guys, to desire honesty. It is what the human heart wants. We desire right in here. We long for it. And yet, I want to point out that many of us, the human condition, can have a hard time, a difficult time expressing and communicating their honesty, because honesty requires vulnerability. Let's talk about that a moment. Vulnerability. Well, I can tell you that the mind, the unconscious, does not like that. No. But if you take it a step further, the unconscious does not like when you become honest. Because the moment you start speaking your truth, your vulnerable, deepest part of you, your honesty that is here in your heart that God knows about, it becomes very resistant. It does not want it to happen. Because it knows that, oh my God, Tiffanie is speaking honesty. It knows you're healing. That exact moment happens, okay? So humans, I feel, we are all looking for this immediate relief, right? We all want to feel better. We want to feel better. And I think so many of us, we turn to things, distractions, entertainment, some substances. I did that. And we look for relief through these things, and I want to share with you guys today that we have an option inside of us. There is a solution inside of us, right inside our heart. Okay, if we go there. And we have the choice when something comes up for us, or we even try to bury something, okay? We have a choice to be honest, to address it, to immediately take it to God, okay? Get honest about it. Because if you don't and you bury it, the consequences will be catastrophic for you. And you may not think it at the time because you're like, oh no, I dealt with that. That's over and done, dealt with. No. When we can really talk about something and we no longer have become emotional, okay, around whatever it is that we're speaking of, there's no attachment, there's no identification to whatever the topic or issue is that's coming up for us, right? That's when we know that it's no longer in our possession, in our mind. If the unconscious doesn't have it anymore, God does. And so we will not react. There's that word, react. The reaction is not there. There's a witness effect around it, okay? We are witnessing the emotion, but we are not the emotion. So when you become honest, the solution in being honest is that immediately from inside, something happens to you. The spiritual realm, God, his angels, they go to work to support you immediately. God and the spiritual realm respond to honesty. You will be supported. Hear what I'm saying. Okay, take it in right now. You will be supported when you speak truth, when you speak in honesty. That's God's territory. We're talking heart now, okay? God knows how difficult it can be for us sometimes because it can pain us, right? Inside our honesty, can be our pain. It can be our pain, and it can also be the very things that make us whole, okay? So it's really important, that we share on these things, but we need to do it where it is safe. And where is that? Where do we speak of our honesty? It is spoken first with self and then with God, with spirit. And because you can go there and speak these things in truth with yourself and with spirit, now you've opened the door to do it amongst others. This is what empowers you to be able to communicate, okay? But you have to get honest first, right in here, your heart. So something else I want to address while talking about honesty is how, humans cannot change humans, right? Through honesty, we may want to tell someone how we feel that they are, how they make us, feel inside, and, how they affect us through honesty. Yes. But I also want to address how humans cannot change humans. Okay. And to change the mind, the mental function of a person, hear what I'm saying, means to alter the mind's operation in its entirety. Do you hear what I'm saying out there? This is a big thing I am addressing because we are not that powerful as humans, you guys. Like, we must know that. And if you have something, an issue, or, a hurt, a pain, and you've tried, maybe you've tried to be honest, and this person maybe doesn't hear you. They have a narrative happening right in here because that's coming from the unconscious, the narrative, and something I've asked God actually just yesterday is, how do you handle this, God? I said, when you know a truth, something that is honest, right? But the person on the receiving end you're trying to communicate it to believes the lie, the narrative in the mind. How do you handle that? I don't know yet. I don't know yet, but God answers, you guys. So I'm learning. I am a student of His. He is my teacher. And, I wait. I ask questions to Him all of the time, and I wait for God to come and respond and to answer me and to put the clarity, right inside me. And I always describe it as when I pray and I ask God and He delivers, it's like He takes a bulk of information, of enlightenment, bloop, and He drops it in me all at the same time. And it's not coming from the mind, it's coming directly from deep within. It's a spiritual experience of my heart and my spirit. And God takes the whole bulk of information, okay? And He makes a deposit right inside of my heart. And then, boom, the clarity comes through. That's the best way I could describe it. So to alter a mind's operation in its entirety, you guys, humans cannot do that. Okay. I have much respect for therapists. I have much respect for psychiatrists, psychologists, counselors, support groups, all of these different outlets where we can go and we can talk to people, we can be honest. I have a lot of respect for them. And maybe where we look towards getting help in these fields so we can change, or we tell people that we love, and then we get them on the path of change. And all of these things are really good. But we have to remember what we're dealing with here. And inside of the mind is a force way beyond anything that a human can take on and understand. If we could, it wouldn't debilitate us to begin with, right? And that's what it does. It takes us out at times. And I know you know what I'm talking about, because at some point in all of our lives, we have experienced mental suffering, psychological suffering, which comes in many forms. I actually just talked about this. And you know what? Let me go there today. Let me go there right now. What is psychological suffering, right? So first, I want to tell you that it comes in many forms. And don't be fooled, people. Do not be fooled by this, okay? Because the mind will convince you that you are not suffering, you're fine, okay? Don't listen to those lies, because we know in here, something feels off. I just don't feel like myself. I don't feel right. That's your spirit talking to you. Listen to it when it does that. So it comes in many forms, things like stress. That's happening all of the time, dude, okay? Stress, anxiety, depression, all forms of addiction. These are some of the most common. Grief, it comes in grief. Obsession of the mind, compulsion of behavior. These are all different forms of psychological suffering. And when we suffer, we can become conditioned to our suffering because of the mind. Let me help you guys understand. The mind and the way that it functions is extremely intelligent, and it is extremely clever. This force in the mind, the unconscious. And sometimes I always say, when I pray, it's like I pray for people every day. And what my prayer is that people will come to find God, find spirit, know Him, know spirit, because what is happening in the mind we cannot do on our own. And I always say this, the same mind that created the situation, the problem, the issues, the suffering, essentially, cannot fix it. There's no solution in the mind that creates it. You have to go to spirit. You have to go to the heart. And that's God. That's God, people. So suffering comes in many forms, okay? And that is why, we really cannot change people. We can pray for people. Yes, that is our job. But we leave the solution of actually the healing part, okay? We leave that to spirit. We leave that to God. That's His area. That's His department. But we can pray for people. To circle back now to getting into honesty, It's really important. Like, our life really doesn't begin for us until we get honest about everything, and you're really not going to begin to experience peace in your life. Number one, peace of mind. You're not going to experience joy, happiness from deep within. Happiness does not come in things, in people and places, all of that. It's not in those types of things. Happiness comes from deep inside of you. And if you're looking for these things that I'm talking about, you're going to have to get honest, okay? And so that's what I've done in my life, you guys, because, I had to recently go back and I had to think about, where in my life did I have to begin getting honest? And the first time I visited this thing called honesty was when I began to get sober. I had to get honest, very honest with myself, like I said, with God, and in meetings with my sponsors that I had. Everything became about honesty, right? And the more that I did it, the more I felt these deep roots, this hold that was on me inside, loosen up, soften. My heart started to come forward. I could breathe. I could see. I could hear. I could feel. I could feel again. Okay? It opened things up in me. And so, getting honest for me began in sobriety. Yes, it did. And I've been on this path of honesty ever since, with self first and with God. Because of it, my life has become more and more beautiful. Now, being honest sometimes isn't always easy. It's not. It's hard. It's difficult. It's uncomfortable, really. But I can tell you that the more you do it, the more comfortable it will become, the more familiar. Then to not be honest, you're like, oh, I don't like this feeling. I don't want it, And so I want to share with you guys, and this one's very deep to me, and I'm okay talking about it today. I've just been praying about it with God and talking to God and to Dad about it because it involves family. And I had to think back to in my life, like, when did I really get honest once I got into sobriety about my first pain, okay? So I had to go back. I did some writing on it, and it came. I remembered very clearly. God helped me remember, because I always ask the Lord, please help me trigger my memory, God, And he does that for me because he loves me. And he loves you too. He loves all of us. And so I asked him, and it came very clear. And so I'll share with you all, and I won't go into too much detail, but I'll tell you the truth here. Here's my honesty. When I was a young girl, like a little girl, I was molested. Okay. I was sexually abused, and it was with my grandfather. It happened with him. I cry because that happened to me. And I'm fine with it, you guys. I don't cry because I'm in pain today. I cry because I'm healing from it now. I'm on my healing journey. But let me tell you, to be honest with my family, and especially my dad, because it was his father, was, oh my God, it was the hardest thing probably I ever had to be honest about. I was terrified 3 times to do this conversation. Once when I was 12, and I didn't even really do it then. I had my sister do it for me, and I hid behind her. She did all the talking. I just told her how I felt. Des was really my voice the whole time, my whole life. And so I was in so much pain. I had no words. I couldn't speak. I was debilitated. I had nothing. I was broken. My spirit broke. And so I had to go to my sister, who became my voice. And I told her, and she had helped me. She did the talking and told my parents. And then again, in my late 20s, early 30s, I did it again. Another conversation with my parents. God was helping me and guiding it the entire time. And I had another conversation. And this is when I felt so terrified. I was like sick about it. Sick. There was so much fear in me. I thought there's no way. I can't do it. How will I do it? God, I can't do it. No. Like I just kept fighting it. But God said yes. Yes. And so I just trusted him. And that began the next moment, the next opportunity I had to be honest about that situation with my parents. And then one more time, God did it for me. Okay? Because God works slowly, people. That's how he works, because when God has to rewire the blueprint that runs through you, which science probably refers to as the nervous system, but there is a spiritual blueprint in all of us. And God is working to rewire it. He's going to work slowly because those are deep roots, people. And so God did that for me. And that was right before my dad died. I came home again and had one more conversation about it. Got honest. And my dad apologized again. He did. And you know what? Like, it wasn't even an apology I was looking for. God was just helping my dad and I become dad and daughter again. There was no pain in that anymore. There was no resentment in that anymore. There was no anything, because yes, the act of what happened to me really destroyed me. But what was even harder for me was, the way that it was handled within the family. And I'm not just talking directly with my parents. I'm talking about like within the family, like everybody. So, things were kept quiet and, that's what happened. And I really believe that my parents and probably the family did the best they knew how. And so I forgave. And I got honest about it. And when I did that, you guys, that was my first experience with real deep rooted honesty. And, God helped me with that. And that's why I can sit here today and tell you that if you have something that pains you, or a trauma, I don't know, a resentment that is in you, something that just it is like your pain is your identity for many of us, right? Who are we without it? That's like who we become. And it's like, I can assure you and promise you that God, if you go to him and you ask him to help you through your honesty and your truth, and you begin to open your heart, he will come. He will soften it. And he will help you speak your truth and your honesty. But you got to invite him to the process and trust him in the process as well. And so that's what honesty can do for you, you guys. It can really open the path, the doorway to living. I'm talking about living now. Okay, like we don't live until we get honest. And the only way to truly get honest with our pain and our trauma and our resentment and whatever we hold, even the things that make us whole, right? Like we get that from spirit. Our heart never really becomes whole until we bring him into it and God makes it whole. Until then, what I feel goes on inside of us is we are kind of looking for something our entire life that we just can't put our finger on. But it's right there, and it's actually with spirit and God. And the moment you get it and you start to feel that experience deep in your heart, the love, unconditional love, because that's what God is. He's amazing. You will know, because you begin to feel very whole. And then you begin to have comfort when you speak about your pain, the things that pained you. And you begin to really feel supported, because God never leaves us, you guys. That's what he promises. And then you feel supported all of the time by him. So honesty is a beautiful thing, you guys. And I really pray it. I want to pray it right now, in fact, for all of you. So God, I pray for all of the people that are watching, whoever this talk comes along to, that may they understand what I've said from you. It's coming from you. I always ask God, please speak through me. And I pray for everyone that it resonates in their heart. And so much so that it empowers them to want to be honest and speak their truth around every pain, around every hurt, every resentment, okay? All their trouble in their life and trauma. May it encourage them and empower them and give them strength, your strength, God, to speak it. Because it is only through you that we are able to get honest. We have to bring God into the equation to get honest. And so that is my prayer for everyone, God, that everyone can come to you at some point, okay? And they can begin to speak their truth and get honest with you so they can have a beautiful life and begin to live, begin to experience joy deep within. Not from the things out here. No. From deep within. And peace in their mind. Okay, peace in their mind and in their heart. That is my prayer for God's people, for all of you. I really want to thank you guys for joining me and listening to all of my thoughts and my feelings and, my belief system around honesty, really. And, I ask God to please speak through me, and hopefully it resonated with someone, even one person. That's enough for me. That's enough for me. Okay. I am here to do God's work, and I love helping you guys. Like I truly love helping people. Please know that. So thank you so much, you guys, for coming, joining, listening. I feel these are always kind of long, but I have a lot to say. And God is speaking through me, and I don't want to turn off, shut down the channel. Once he opens it, it's like, boom, let's go. So again, I thank you. And please, you guys, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, share it with your family, your own communities. And follow me on Instagram because I am very active there. And get to know me on my story life. I'm right there, one little boop, click away. So thank you again, you guys. And I hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you.